Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everyone. Merci de vous joindre à Nathan, Aajuraq et Caroline, Mike et moi pour une annonce qu'on fait à Montréal, mais qui concerne l'ensemble du pays et tout particulièrement le Nord canadien. Le Nord, c'est un endroit exceptionnel, avec des animaux quasi fantastiques et des paysages uniques où les eaux rencontrent la glace. Comme Nathan a dit, mes premières visites avec mon père ont marqué mon enfance. C'est avec lui que j'ai appris à aimer les paysages, le climat, mais surtout les gens du Nord canadien. C'est pour ça d'ailleurs que depuis des années maintenant, chaque fois que je me rends dans le Nord, j'essaye d'amener un de mes enfants avec moi pour leur faire découvrir à leur tour toute cette beauté de cet endroit incroyable. Vous comprendrez donc que le Nord canadien, je l'ai à cœur. Mais c'est aussi une priorité pour notre gouvernement, qu'on parle de souveraineté, de renforcer notre présence militaire ou, comme aujourd'hui, qu'on soit en train de parler de créer de bons emplois et de protéger l'environnement en même temps. Guidés par ceux qui ont pris soin de ces terres depuis des temps immémoriaux, les Inuits, on va protéger cet endroit extraordinaire et tous ceux qui y vivent. Aujourd'hui, on vous annonce une très bonne nouvelle et honnêtement, c'est pas de trop. Je vous avoue que par moments, comme vous tous, je suis inquiet pour l'avenir de notre planète. Mais je suis convaincu que, ultimement, on va gagner notre lutte contre les changements climatiques et contre la destruction de notre environnement. C'est extraordinaire ce que les humains peuvent accomplir quand on pousse tous du même bord. Protéger l'environnement, c'est pas juste protéger des paysages, c'est protéger des écosystèmes. Et pour ça, il faut protéger la biodiversité. Animals and insects, not just in the north, but across our country, play fundamental roles in our environment. They do work that we all too often take for granted, whether it's beavers that mitigate the risks of fires, floods, and droughts, frogs that control the pests that plague our gardens, or bees, flies, and wasps that pollinate our farmers' fields. When we invest to protect and safeguard biodiversity, we protect those who protect us, our environment, and our livelihoods. In 2018, we launched Canada's Nature Legacy Initiative, which at the time was the single largest investment in nature conservation in Canadian history, and funded projects by organizations and Indigenous communities across the country to protect species at risk and their habitat. Then in 2022, I was here in Montreal for the Nature COP 15, where Canadian leadership, shout out to Stephen Guilbeault, was crucial for the world to agree on ambitious goals, notably that of protecting 30% of lands, 30% of waters around the world by 2030. And because Canada takes this engagement seriously, we announced an investment of $800 million for 4 major Indigenous-led conservation projects that would help us reach that goal. Last year, we launched the first such project, that of the Great Bear Sea, to protect British Columbia's coastland over an area the size of Ireland. Dallas, it's great to have you here today as well. That same year, we also signed a second agreement in the Northwest Territories to protect over 37 million hectares of land. Well, today, we're taking another step. We're announcing the signing of the SINAA project, Finance for Permanence agreement, between the Government of Canada, the Kiktani Inuit Association, and the Pew Charitable Trusts. With this agreement, we will protect over 3.5% more of Canada's marine area by supporting Inuit-led conservation initiatives to ensure the long-term health of northern environments. In so doing, we're also building an economy based on conservation, creating jobs where Inuit knowledge will be leveraged and valued to protect northern ecosystems, and investing in community infrastructure like the Arctic Bay Small Craft Harbour. Speaking of Arctic Bay, that's where Minister Gary Anandasangari is today for an important announcement. Otherwise, I know he would have loved to have been here celebrating with you all. It is so good to be here today to witness this project take shape and to celebrate this accomplishment with all of you. I have to thank, obviously, the Kiktani Inuit Association, its board, and the negotiators who've made today's announcement possible, as well as the charitable organizations that have taken part. Je veux aussi, évidemment, remercier mes collègues Stephen Guilbeault et Diane Leboutillier, qui ont aussi travaillé très fort pour qu'on en arrive là. Now, when I first became Prime Minister almost 10 years ago, less than 1% of Canada's oceans were protected. We're now nearing the 17% mark, and I know everyone is going to keep working really hard to reach our goal of protecting 30% of our oceans by 2030. There's lots more work to do, and you will always be able to count on me as your ally. I was working with CPAWS to protect Canada's nature long before working in politics, and I will always, for the rest of my life, be deeply committed to protecting Canada's lands and waters. But of course, I will also be urging my successor to continue this work, notably by partnering with the Aajuraq people in Ontario to make our fourth Indigenous-led project, Finance for Permanence, a reality. Canada's north is truly a magical place with near mythical animals like narwhals and the famous polar bears who've become an icon for the conservation movement across the globe. By taking action to protect northern ecosystems, we're also protecting these wonders. We're doing it for those who've lived there for countless generations. We're doing it for Canadians, but we're also doing it for people everywhere around the world, including all those yet to be born. Thank you for the work you've done here. Merci, mes amis. Kuyanamik.